answer to that prayer, he's losing his life. He is right with God. He's right with himself. He is living in obedience. He's possessing all of God and all things. See, we say, man, it cost him everything. It's costing him poverty, even death. But don't pity him. Why? Because he's in the will of God. Because he's right where he's supposed to be, in the middle of this fire. He's to be congratulated. He is rich because he is God's will. In God's will. And this is another rabbit, we won't go there, but some of us would go, Bobby, I want to know God's will for my life. I want to know God's will. Listen, you are God's will. We just walk. We walk in love with him. We'll talk about that later. One other little thing about this. I don't even remember why I jotted this down, but I wrote to myself, you are so poor if all you have is money. I don't know why I said that. Okay, number 2. He's to be congratulated because he is doing what he longs to do. What? Just jot this down. Hebrews chapter 12, verse 2. The writer of Hebrews is talking about the cross, and he said it this way. He said, and for the joy set before him, he endured the cross. For the joy set before him, he endured the cross. What's the joy set before him? It's you. It's me. For the joy set before him, me, us, for us, he endured the cross. You are his joy. I am his joy. I am the joy of Jesus. Steve, that's another one of those things we talked about in the hall. Steve's going, I'm starting to get that I'm really his son. It's moving from a theory to an actual reality. I am his son. Listen, not only are you his son or his daughter, you are his joy. You are the delight of God. Isn't that awesome? I am the joy of God. For the joy set before him, he endured the cross. He did this for you and me. He's looking forward here potentially. The writer of Hebrews is talking about that. These women think the cross, these women in Luke chapter 23, they think the cross is being forced on him. It's not being forced on him at all. He's willingly doing it. They think his life is being wrenched out of his hand. They're wrong. I don't have to bear this cross, Jesus could say. I'm bearing it of my own choice. I am not losing my life. I'm giving my life. John 10:18. No man takes it from me, but I lay it down myself. See, it's like he's saying, I have found something big enough to live for. And something big enough to die for. You don't cry for somebody like that. So my question to you is today, one of the questions is, are you living your life with something worth living and dying for? If you're not, we need to cry for you. But when you live a life like this, when you give your life away, that's to be applauded and congratulated. I want to give my life away with something so much bigger than me. Listen, if it's about you, you're not that big of a deal. I'm sorry, you're awesome, but you're not that big of a deal. I'm not that big of a deal. I gotta live my life for something bigger than me. This church, we gotta live our lives as a church for something so much bigger than count the people, how many came to Sunday school. That'll take care of itself when we live beyond these walls. We begin to pray for things that we've never prayed for before. When we get our hands dirty, we live outside of ourselves. Do you have that kind of purpose for your life? See, you have purpose. You have destiny. You are his joy, his delight. We've got to live that out for something bigger than ourselves. Bless you. And finally, Jesus forbids their tears because he is living and dying victoriously. It doesn't look like that. listen, I don't want you to get upset at me about this, but I mean, in human terms, he was a flop. He was. He's like one of the biggest failures ever. I mean, he comes, remember, the Jews, oh, here comes the king. He's going to set up the kingdom. He's going to do all of this. He didn't, in their understanding. He set out to redeem the world. At first, he's popular. There's these big crowds everywhere. Fanfare, but now here he is, and there's just a couple of women left going, oh, and everybody else is against him. Rejected. A pathetic failure. If you look at it that way. Just a few hours earlier, he had said, be of good cheer, I've overcome the world. What? You've overcome the world? You got 3 women there going, oh, don't hurt, you know? Doesn't look like you've overcome anything. He is a conqueror, now and forevermore. He is a champion. And his enemies will kill him, but that will not be the end. Because he is possessed by a life that cannot be destroyed. So the fire is to get us to that place where it burns up all of those little ancillary parts of us and gets us, it takes us right down to this very things like, are you going to live for me? Or are you going to live your life victoriously for something bigger than yourself? Not a man, not a devil, not even death can take that away. And that's why the writer says, oh grave, where is your victory? Death, where is your sting? Okay, then the last thing, what to do in the case of a fire. You ready? This is the secret. You walk through it. Because what we desire, the kind of life God desires for us, and the kind of life I desire, is on the other side of the fire. It's not on this side. To get to what God has for me, to get to what I want for me, is on the other side of the fire. I have to go there. And so the only way, you can't go around it, you can't stay short, you have to walk through it. Spiritually, we meet the fire by walking through it. We can't look back, wondering, what if? What would have happened if this? We can't look ahead, altering the present because we believe we ought to have something else. We must be present in the moment. This moment. If you're in the fire today, be present in this. Be all in this. This moment, this day, this hour. This is the most important day ever. It's crucial for me. It's crucial for you. This time, right now, is crucial and necessary. Listen to some of this. This is amazing. You can jot these down. I got to go fast, so I'm not going to read them all. 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 8. Peter says, but don't let this one fact escape your notice. Did I just say escape? Man. But don't let this one fact escape your notice, beloved, that with the Lord, one day is as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years as a day. See, listen to me. What I do today affects 1,000 years. What I don't do today affects 1,000 years. And so I'm going to pray. I'm going to love. I'm going to forgive. I'm going to give. For 1,000 years. Listen, in the middle of this fire, what it does, it goes, it's all about this moment, and this moment is pregnant with life. Even though the fire is hot and swirling around me, I cannot escape this because what's happening inside of me is so crucial to the next 1,000 years. I don't want to walk out of it. Psalm 139, verse 16 says this, all the days ordained for me The little thread here is the word day, okay? So you're going to catch that. All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be. The Hebrew word for day is yatsar. I think that's how you say it. So I looked up yatsar, and here's the definition. To devise, to produce, to create, to be fashioned. I don't know what this is necessarily, but in its participle form, it refers to a potter or a creator molding and sculpting. Okay, so take that idea and put it back in the verse. All of the days ordained. All of the days that God put his hands on and molded and shaped and fashioned. Every day in your life has been molded and shaped for you by the Father. Every day, this day has had the hands of God all over it. And what do you do after you shape it? What's the next thing? Fire. Your day, this moment has been ordained for you. That's amazing to me. So what do I do with it? You like it, Mary? Is that you? You hear that? Mary goes, oh. Oh man. This is just a picture I've got. Like every day are these shaped and molded by God. So this is stupid. You're going to see how I think. Okay, it's like a vase. Each day is like this vase. Each day is this piece of pottery, this beautiful thing. You know, it's like, what do I do with each day? Oh, I don't like this day. I mean, you know, just like how many days have I just shattered because I wasn't crazy about what he ordained. Listen, I don't want to shatter anymore. I don't want to throw any more days away. I want to keep them and use them and milk every ounce of what God has in every single day. Okay, let's keep going. Psalm 90, verse 12. So teach us to number our days, that we may present to you a heart of wisdom. The word heart there literally is the deep innermost part. Psalm 39, verses 4 and 5. Show me, O Lord, my life's end and the number of my days. Let me know how fleeting is my life. You have made my days a mere handbreadth. The span of my years is nothing before you. Surely, every man at his best is a mere breath. And then after that, after he writes that, there's that word that you've seen in the Psalms, Selah.